Every time you lose your temper, every time you say something you regret, every time you let emotions hijack your peace, you lose the most important battle there is, the battle within. The Stoics believe that true power is not in controlling the world, but in controlling how you respond to it. But how many times have you reacted without thinking? How many moments of anger, jealousy, or panic have written stories you wish you could erase? We live in an age of instant reactions. Text messages, notifications, arguments online, traffic, deadlines. Our nervous systems are constantly triggered. And yet, the people who rise above all of it share one quiet superpower. They've trained their minds to respond, not react. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, faced betrayals, wars, and loss every single day. But he wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." That's the secret. Between stimulus and response, there's a moment, a sacred pause, and in that pause lies your freedom. But most people never see it. They live life like a matchbox in a storm, one spark, and they burn everything around them. The Stoic path is about mastering that moment, stretching that pause, and using it to create calm where chaos wants control. Think about the last time someone disrespected you. Maybe they insulted you, ignored you, or treated you unfairly. Did you respond with calm wisdom, or did you react out of wounded pride? It's in those moments where Stoicism becomes real. Anyone can preach calmness in silence. Few can live it when provoked. Seneca once said, "Anger, if not restrained, is more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." That line holds a mirror to modern life. You can't always control what people say or do, but you can always control the meaning you attach to it. Every reaction is a choice disguised as instinct. We've been conditioned to believe that reacting fast means we're strong, but Stoicism teaches the opposite. Real strength is in restraint. The calm person is not weak, they're unshakable. Their silence is not submission, it's strategy. They understand that reacting emotionally hands power over to others, while responding deliberately takes it back. It's not about being emotionless, it's about being emotionally intelligent. The Stoic doesn't suppress emotions. They study them, question them, and master them. Imagine a modern soldier on a battlefield. Chaos everywhere, noise, confusion, adrenaline. The difference between survival and disaster lies in a single skill: response. Panic kills, awareness saves. Life works the same way. When you train your mind to slow down, to observe before reacting, you gain the same tactical advantage the Stoics lived by. You become dangerous in the calmest way possible, not through aggression, but through control. But how do you get there? How do you train that inner stillness when the world around you thrives on emotional chaos? That's where the real Stoic practice begins. Not in theory, but in the small, everyday triggers. The rude comment, the delay, the insult, the fear of losing control. Each one is a training ground. And if you can master one moment of reaction today, you're already rewriting your future self. In this video, we'll explore how Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus trained their minds to remain unshaken amidst storms, and how you can do the same. By the end, you'll know how to pause before reacting, how to win the hidden war inside your mind, and how to build a state of peace so strong that nothing external can disturb it. Because once you learn to respond, you no longer play the game of the world, you master it. Every reaction begins in the mind before it reaches your hands, your words, or your face. What the Stoics discovered, centuries before modern psychology, is that emotions don't control us. Our interpretations do. Something happens, your brain gives it meaning, and that meaning dictates your reaction. The event isn't the problem. Your judgment of it is. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That single truth dismantles emotional chaos, because once you understand that your reaction is not automatic but chosen, you gain control over everything that once ruled you. The Stoics trained themselves to watch their thoughts like a warrior watches the battlefield. When anger appeared, they didn't fight it, they observed it. When fear knocked, they didn't panic, they questioned it. Epictetus taught that we must examine every impression that enters the mind. Don't let the force of an impression carry you away. Say, "Wait for me a little. Let me see who you are and what you represent." Imagine applying that in the modern world. Someone insults you online. Instead of firing back, you pause. You breathe. You ask, "Why do I feel attacked? What story am I telling myself?" That's Stoicism in motion. The art of intercepting impulse before it becomes damage. But here's where it gets powerful. Every reaction you resist makes you stronger. Every moment you pause builds mental muscle. Just as lifting weights strengthens the body, resisting emotional impulses strengthens the mind. Seneca compared this to fire. When the wind blows, it either extinguishes a small flame or feeds a great one. The Stoic uses challenge to burn brighter. Life will never stop testing you, but if you train your mind to respond instead of react, every test becomes a workout for your character. Think of it this way. When someone's hurt and it provokes you, they're offering you a chance to demonstrate mastery. If you explode, you hand them your peace. If you stay calm, you prove that your emotions belong to you, not to them. The Stoic doesn't avoid people or problems. They use them as training tools. Epictetus once said, "When someone irritates you, realize that it is your own opinion which has irritated you. It's not the person that disturbs you, it's the meaning you assign to their behavior. Once you see that, their power over you dissolves instantly." In our world of fast reactions, slowing down becomes a superpower. When everyone is quick to argue, quick to cancel, quick to hate, be the one who pauses. That pause doesn't make you passive, it makes you precise. The modern Stoic knows that responding doesn't mean ignoring your feelings. It means mastering their direction. Feel anger? Channel it into discipline. Feel fear? Transform it into focus. Feel sadness? Let it deepen your empathy instead of your despair. That's the alchemy of Stoicism, turning emotion into evolution. Imagine Marcus Aurelius at his desk late at night, the empire on the edge of chaos, enemies plotting, friends betraying him. Yet he writes, "Be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved, and the raging of the sea stills around it." That image captures what we all need today. You can't stop the waves. Insults, delays, heartbreaks, failures. But you can become the rock. That's what responding, not reacting, truly means. You don't suppress the waves. You outlast them. And the deeper truth, mastering your response doesn't just protect your peace, it wins situations without conflict. Because when you remain calm while others lose control, you automatically gain authority. Emotional control is silent dominance. It's how you win without fighting. But to reach that level, you must first train your mind to question everything it feels and choose wisely before you act. In the next part, we'll go even deeper into how to build this mental discipline, how to condition your mind daily, like the Stoics did, until calm becomes your default setting. Training your mind to respond instead of react isn't a single moment of enlightenment. It's a daily practice, a lifelong discipline. The Stoics didn't wake up calm. They trained themselves to be calm. They understood that emotional control is built the same way as physical strength, through repetition, reflection, and resistance. Every day was a mental gym. Every challenge, a set of reps for the soul. Marcus Aurelius didn't write his meditations for the world. He wrote them for himself as reminders to stay grounded when everything around him tried to pull him into reaction. That's where we begin too, through daily mental conditioning. The first Stoic exercise is premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Every morning, Marcus would visualize the day ahead and imagine the frustrations waiting for him. Selfish people, delays, criticism, loss. He didn't do this to become pessimistic, but to strengthen his emotional armor. When you expect difficulty, you stop being shocked by it. You don't walk into the storm hoping it never rains. You carry an umbrella. Before you enter your day, pause and tell yourself, I will meet people who test my patience. I will face things that don't go my way. But none of these things have the power to control me unless I give it to them. This mindset transforms as anticipation into preparation. The second practice is reflection, evening journaling. Seneca recommended reviewing each day like a philosopher reviews a debate, calm, honest, and curious. At night, he'd ask himself, where did I react without thought? What could I have done differently? This isn't self-blame, it's self-training. You become your own observer, your own coach. Modern psychology calls this metacognition, awareness of your own thinking, and it's the core of Stoic mastery. By reviewing your reactions daily, you start noticing patterns, the triggers that make you lose control, the stories that replay in your mind. Awareness is the first step toward command. The third exercise is the pause. Epictetus taught that every impulse should be tested before it becomes action. He said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. In practice, that means letting others think you're quiet, slow to respond, or indifferent, while inside, you're studying your mind like a strategist studies terrain. Before replying to an insult, before sending that message, before raising your voice, stop. Breathe deeply. Ask yourself 3 questions. Is this within my control? Will this reaction serve me? Will I regret this tomorrow? That 5-second pause can save 5 years of regret. Then comes voluntary discomfort, the Stoic habit of practicing simplicity to train resilience. Seneca slept on hard beds, ate plain food, and wore simple clothes to remind himself that comfort is a trap. Why? Because when you learn to endure small discomforts by choice, you're less likely to react when discomfort arrives without warning. Try this. Go a day without your phone, take a cold shower, skip luxury for simplicity. It's not punishment, it's preparation. You're teaching your mind, I can handle less, so I'm not afraid of losing more, and a person without fear is impossible to provoke. Finally, the Stoics practiced amor fati, the love of fate. Not just accepting what happens, but embracing it fully. When something goes wrong, instead of asking, why me? Ask, what is this teaching me? That shift rewires your brain to respond constructively instead of emotionally. Modern neuroscience confirms what the Stoics intuitively knew. Your mind rewires through repetition. Each time you replace reaction with response, you create a new mental pathway of strength and clarity. This is what separates the ordinary from the unshakable. Anyone can stay calm when life is easy. The Stoic trains for when it's not. By practicing visualization, reflection, pause, simplicity, and acceptance, you slowly transform from someone controlled by emotion to someone commanding it. And once that transformation begins, the world starts to change around you, not because life gets easier, but because you become stronger. But there's still one question left open. If Stoics feel emotions like everyone else, what makes their responses so unbreakable? In the next part, we'll uncover the Stoic emotional philosophy, how they experienced pain, anger, fear, and love without being ruled by them, and how you can do the same without losing your humanity. There's a common misconception that Stoicism means being emotionless, cold, detached, robotic. But that's not what the Stoics taught. They didn't reject emotion, they refined it. The Stoic doesn't destroy their feelings, they discipline them. They allow emotion to exist but not to dominate. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality," meaning it's not the emotion itself that hurts us. It's how we feed it, exaggerate it, and let it define us. The Stoic learns to see emotion as a messenger, not a master. Take anger. It's one of the most explosive reactions humans have. A spark that can burn years of peace in seconds. As Epictetus warned that anger makes us slaves because it blinds reason, he said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." The Stoic doesn't deny anger. They step back and study it. They ask, what expectation was broken? What belief was threatened? When you pause long enough to question your anger, it starts to dissolve. It loses its grip. You realize most of what angers you comes from the illusion of control, the belief that the world should move according to your will. Once you release that, peace returns. Then there's fear, the quiet reaction that chains people from living fully. The Stoics called fear a misuse of imagination. We fear things that haven't happened, while wasting the present moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not let your imagination be crushed by life as a whole. Don't try to picture everything bad that could happen. Stick with the situation at hand." The Stoic trains their mind to return to now, because the mind can survive almost anything when it doesn't multiply it with imagined catastrophes. Fear becomes manageable when you see it not as a wall but as a mirror, reflecting where you lack trust in yourself. Sadness and grief too were not dismissed by Stoics. Seneca lost friends, family and fortune, yet wrote with incredible calm. He taught that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. When someone you love leaves, or when life takes something precious, the Stoic doesn't deny their sorrow. They embrace it as proof of love and life's impermanence. "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man," Seneca said. Loss reminds us to live fully, to cherish the present, and to love without clinging. Even grief can be noble when carried with awareness. And then there's love, perhaps the most misunderstood emotion in Stoic thought. Many assume Stoics rejected passion, but that's not true. They valued love deeply, but detached it from neediness. Epictetus said, "When you kiss your child, say to yourself, 'Tomorrow you may die.' Not as cruelty, but as gratitude." To love as a Stoic is to love fully while knowing you could lose everything at any moment. It's a reminder that love is not ownership, it's appreciation. That awareness turns love into strength, not vulnerability. When you respond instead of react, you don't kill emotion, you elevate it. Anger becomes clarity, fear becomes courage, sadness becomes depth, love becomes freedom. That's what Stoic mastery looks like. Not the absence of emotion, but emotional transformation. Modern psychology echoes this. Mindfulness, cognitive reframing, and emotional regulation all mirror Stoic principles that are thousands of years old. The Stoics were the original neuroscientists of the soul. The next time you feel anger rising, sadness weighing you down, or fear whispering lies, pause and remember. This emotion is not the enemy. It's raw energy waiting for direction. You decide whether it burns you or builds you. Marcus Aurelius once reflected, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every emotion that challenges you is a hidden teacher. When you stop reacting to it and start learning from it, life transforms from a battlefield into a classroom. But emotional mastery is only one side of the Stoic coin. The other is application. How to use that calm power in real-world conflict, relationships, and decisions. In the next and final part, we'll bring it all together. How to win any situation, not by dominating others, but by mastering yourself so deeply that no one's chaos can shake your inner order. To win the situation, you don't have to control the situation. You have to control yourself. That's the Stoic paradox. The weaker man fights everything outside him. The stronger one masters what's inside. The first is tossed by the storm, the second is the calm within it. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, but his greatest conquest was his own mind. Every page of Meditations is a reminder that the real war isn't fought with swords or words. It's fought in silence, between impulse and intention. When you respond instead of react, you win that war. And the moment you do, you win every other battle that follows. Picture this. Someone insults you. A co-worker undermines you. A loved one disappoints you. Most people react. They defend, attack, or retreat. But the Stoic smiles internally, not because they're unaffected, but because they understand the truth. Every provocation is an invitation to rise above. Seneca wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy." That's not weakness, that's victory in its purest form. To respond calmly is to assert control, to own the situation without saying a word. The loudest strength is silence powered by understanding. When you master that, you become untouchable. Epictetus taught that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Life will keep testing you with the same situations until you master your response. That's why Stoicism is not just philosophy, it's training. Every delay, every insult, every failure is an exam. You can't skip it, but you can pass it with grace. The one who remains calm under chaos is not lucky, they are trained. Calm is not natural, it's cultivated. It's built one moment, one choice, one pause at a time. And the more you practice it, the stronger your mental armor becomes.